Welcome everybody to a look at the fifth film in the Tales of Adventure collection number 8 box set, and it is Jules Verne's Rocket to the Moon from 1967. And yeah, this is directed by Don Sharp, who I've not seen anything similar to this before, but he also did the likes of Bear Island, Rasputin the Mad Monk with Christopher Lee no less, and Psychomania. So this is a science fiction comedy film, clocking in at 119 minutes long. Stars the likes of Burl Ives, who was in The Big Country, Day of the Outlaw, and White Dog. All great films, to be honest. Also stars Troy Donahue, who was in Monster on the Campus. Gert Frobe, who we've talked about earlier this year, as he was part of the Dr. Mabusa box set from Eureka, who was in 3 of those films, as well as Goldfinger. Also got Hermione Gingold, who was in Bell, Book and Candle. Lionel Jeffries, who was in a similar effort to this early in the decade, called First Men in the Moon, as well as The Wrong Arm of the Law and Eyewitness. Dennis Price, who was in Twins of Evil and The Earth Dies Screaming. And finally, Delilah Lavie, who was in The Silencers, and also alongside Gert Frobe in The Return of Dr. Mabusa. So Phineas T. Barnum and friends finance the first flight to the moon, but find the task a little above them. They attempt to blast their rocket into orbit from a massive gun barrel built into the side of a Welsh mountain, but money troubles, spies, saboteurs ensure that the plan is doomed before it starts. So this is an overall light-hearted, leisurely and predominantly engaging effort that is helped along by the great cast and solid production, which actually grew over time. Initially was only supposed to be about 100 minutes long, but the more cast members that joined, the bigger the production got, because more people, more production companies that got involved wanted their, fellow countrymen to get bigger roles, basically. So, a German company getting involved, like wanting Gert Frobe to get a bigger part. And you had Americans getting involved, so like wanting the likes of Troy Donahue to get a bigger part. So yeah, it just grew over time, which is why it's as long as it is. The cinematography though is also on point. There are some decent set pieces. There are a good amount of laughs. Though leisurely paced, it isn't frustratingly done. It is generally entertaining, and the score is well done as well. So yeah, it's not my favourite of this release, even though it is going to get a 3.5 out of 5. Just purely because I think it's a little bit on the longer side of things than it needs to be, but obviously there's a reason for that. But still, it was enjoyable enough, and yeah, like I said, the quite frankly quite stacked cast definitely helps it along. So yeah, well worth seeing, especially if you are into your more comedic side of the sci-fi genre. And on the disc itself, we've got a 1080p high definition presentation. Definitely looks and sounds really good, although not perfect. Then we've got audio commentary by journalist, film critic Kim Newman and author Stephen Jones from 2025. The Rocket Will Fly, an interview with third assistant director Richard Holt from 2025. Ticket to Ireland, an interview with actress Audrey Nicholson from 2025, because it actually was shot in Ireland, especially for the locale shots, which are actually pretty good, to be honest. I guess one way to save money is actually just shooting on location rather than building giant sets. Then we've got journalist and film historian Matthew Sweet on Jules Verne's Rocket to the Moon from 2021. Journalist and film critic Kim Newman on Jules Verne's Rocket to the Moon, also from 2021. And then on the set of Jules Verne's Rocket to the Moon, which is in silent footage. So yeah, I guess that would be interesting to see, even if you don't have any audio there. So yeah, decent film, but and definitely better than I was expecting it to be. I was anticipating, with the kind of comedic goings on there in the corner, for instance, that this was going to be a bit more of a sex comedy in sort of regards. I don't know why. Obviously, there might be 2 reasons there that might indicate why. But regardless, yeah, it's far more leisurely paced and laid back than that you might well expect. And at the end of the day, also quite light-hearted as well. So yeah, decent enough effort, but yeah, not my favourite. Even if I've given it a higher rating than Valley of the Dragons and War Gods of the Deep, I definitely would prefer to watch them 2 again over this one, even if this is probably on a technical and casting level a bit better. Nonetheless, so if you have seen this film before, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.